You know what I think our motto needs to be?
Huh.
Less thinky, more drinky.
More drinky. Okay, we'll introduce our
Less thinky, more drinky.
I'd like to propose a toast.
Welcome to Wines and Dolls, a podcast where Chelsea and Emily wine and talk about musicals. Welcome. Wine is a double entendre.
One more try. Is it the fan?
Maybe it's the fan. Less thinky, more drinky.
Oh my god. There's this buzzing sound when we record and it's driving me insane.
Hey,
and
Emily.
I can't figure out what it is.
Emily.
What?
Less thinky, more drinky.
I have to keep thinking.
Cheers!
Cheers!
Clink.
We're back in the tumblers. What are we drinking today?
What are we drinking today, Emily?
I don't
Oh, it's a rosé.
It's a sparkling rosé. It's Jan's
Jansz
Tasmania Premium Rosé.
It's delightful.
I heard it's the best bang for your buck, but I also heard that from Rigel. So
Bang.
Thank
It's so good.
you, Rigel.
Thank you, Rachel.
He told me I was the worst because I told him I was going to drink this like 2 weeks ago.
Hey, Rachel. We fucking did it. We drank it. So it's really good.
It's really good. Thank you.
You have good taste. Bring more
Well,
wine
it's like
to
he
us.
has a whole company for it. He has a company. It's Why No Tasting. So it's WHYKNOW.
If you want to
tastings.
donate more wines to us, I'm okay with it, right? I only drink bubbly wines.
Only your alcoholic wines, not your
Only-
verbal wines.
No,
we don't want those.
No, we want the bubbly alcoholic wines. Thank you.
Thanks, Rigel.
Hey, ask
Hey.
me what I'm whining about today.
Hey, Chelsea.
Hey,
what
Emily.
are you whining about today?
That was
Okay,
perfect.
Okay, here's the new drinking game. Whenever we burp,
Really? Oh, shit, that's a lot.
whenever we burp, whenever we say James, whenever we say Regina,
drink,
whenever we
drink.
say
Drink, drink, drink,
Rex Knightley,
Mm.
because we took his dance class tonight.
We
and
sure
he's
did.
Lovely.
I am not complaining about that.
I love him.
We dance. I've been dancing with Rex. This is my 4th class with him.
True.
Oh, yay. So I've been dancing with him for a month now, taking his 101, Broadway 101 at Houston Divine Studio in the Heights.
Yeah.
We can put the information on maybe our thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Houston Divine Studio. So they do a lot of burlesque classes, dance classes, and like chair and hair and floor.
Chair and hair.
There's a twerking class, but I love Rex Knightley and his Broadway 101. Tonight we did Hairspray. It was fantastic. We were the nicest kids in town.
The nicest.
Oh God, I'm gonna drink again. This is a particularly bubbly rosé.
What are you whining about, Chelsea?
What am I whining about, Emily?
you.
Oh, I had a good
That
one
is
and now I
my
can't
thing.
remember.
Oh.
Oh, you know what? I know what I'm going to whine about. So it's kind of funny. At the time, I was like really pissed off, but now it's hilarious to me. So I played a princess. That's one of my part-time gigs is I'm a princess for a few different companies. And
She's Felsa and Fauna.
Felsa and Fauna. So I was on my way to this daddy-daughter dance, and I was dressed as Princess Anna at the coronation ball from the first Frozen movie. So I've got the huge hoop skirt, and it's like up to my neck. I had to like bend it and put it up to my neck to just get in the car. And I've got the big like the big hair, and it's like all up in a bun.
It's a beautiful little wig.
Cute little wig. I love it. I love playing Princess Anna.
Fauna.
Fauna.
Disney don't.
Fauna
sue us.
Felsa.
Fauna
So,
Felsa.
loved doing those gigs. So anyway, I'm on my way to this daddy-daughter dance where we're just going to be like singing and taking pictures with these kids for an hour. And it was going to be an easy gig. So I'm driving out there and 610 is closed at a certain place. So I exited the ramp where I was supposed to, and it came to a stop. So I came to a stop like any sane person who's watching traffic does. This douchebag out of nowhere is flying towards me, and I see him in my rearview mirror, and I'm like, oh fuck, he's gonna hit me. There's literally nowhere I can go. So he does. He slams right into the back of my car, which pushes me forward
into the car
in front of me, and all of the kinetic energy I get from him. So anyway, my neck is already pretty fucked up, as you've heard in the past episodes. but like it lurches me forward and my wig like comes forward on my face. I'm like, motherfucker.
Oh
I was more pissed off about the wig than the car.
Yeah.
At that time, because I was like, I took a lot of time to put on this makeup and the hair and make sure it was perfect. So anyway, I was pissed. So, but I was also in shock. So like, I turn off my car. Yeah. And I open the door, and all the men have already gotten out. The man I hit and the man who hit me. I'm sandwiched between these two men, and it is not a good sandwich between two men. So these douchebags are already checking both sides of my car so they can tell me everything's fine, so we can leave and we don't have to call the cops. And I'm like, oh no. So I open up the car. I'm in shock, and so I take a big breath in the coronation gown. I come out of the car and I go, oh shit! Oh fuck! What the fuck? And, and the look on these guys' faces when I jump out of the car and I'm in this coronation ball gown. They're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like,
"No, I'm a fucking princess.
I'm fine. I'm fucking fine." And they're like, "Well, the cars are fine. You didn't get any damage at all." I'm like, I was so shaken. I was like, "No, what? Don't leave. What?" So I finally got out and checked both ends. These men were trying to mansplain that my car was fine.
Oh, no. You still take the insurance from the guy behind you, because now you go to the chiropractor on his insurance for the motherfucker who hit you.
I did not do that. I should have done that, but I did not do that. Because my neck hurt. I went and iced after the party was over, because I still had to go do the gig.
You still had to do the gig, yeah.
Yeah, I went to the gig. My neck was hurting. I came home. My neck was hurting. I usually hurt after I do those anyway, because I'm standing up tall, and I'm like, I've got this wig on my head, this heavy-ass wig. So anyway.
Makes me so mad.
But, like, princess powers, yo. My car was not touched. He slammed into me, and his car was all fucked up in the front. My car was fine. Nothing.
What kind of car do you have?
I have a Nissan Sentra.
So,
It's
Nissan,
a boat.
hold on.
Get it, Nissan. Ugh, Houston drivers. Just fucking get off your phone and look up.
It's because they're on their phone.
Just look up.
It is, they are literally, oh, fuck.
Turn it off.
Okay, we're back.
And we're back. Hi. Hey, Emily. Hey, Emily. What are you whining about?
I'm not to eat on the podcast.
I'm curious. What are you whining about today?
What am I whining about, Chelsea?
Scary. She's scary when she's mad. Pass me that bottle of
I'm going to
wine.
I'm going to whine about Houston drivers, and
I feel like we do that a lot.
I think we should just, I mean,
y'all stop being stupid.
They're stupid. I would like them all to get off their phones. Period.
Don't drink and drive, folks.
God damn it, yeah.
Here.
Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Have the podcast ready when you get in your car, and then press play, and then don't touch your phone.
Don't touch it. No touchy.
No touchy.
No touchy. Okay, so we are talking about a goddamn musical today.
Oh, we are?
We are.
I hear it's fantastic.
It's so good. It's super fantastic.
So good. It's
the Fantasticks.
Fucking fantastic. It's the Fantasticks.
We're doing the Fantasticks today. I've never seen the Fantasticks, but you have an opportunity.
You do have an opportunity
and I have an opportunity to see it at stages from January 24th through March 15th.
And we are recording, what day is it? It's the 10th.
Today is the 10th of February, so we still have like a month to go see it.
We still have a long time to go see it.
You went to see it last night, right?
I saw it last night. Yes, I did.
I would like to go see it. It's
very good.
because I've not been to Stage's new Gordy Theater.
Yeah, Stages just opened up their new theater, which is down the street from their old theater. Yep, called the Gordy.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
It looks beautiful.
It's very MCC.
Yeah.
When it was like, this is NCC vibes. Oh. Are we going to do a Broadway Bears?
I'd be into that. I would be very into that.
Broadway Bears? Miscast?
Why don't? Wouldn't it be great if Stages and Prohibition like teamed up to do a Broadway Bears?
Wouldn't it be really great if Stages, Prohibition, and Wines and Dolls teamed
did
up?
A thing
I'm writing this down.
Also, my cousin.
An assistant to write this down.
My cousin. Hey, Dante, I hope you're listening.
Hey.
Shout out to Dante Keene up in New York.
Keene.
So she's choreographed a bunch for Broadway Bears up in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we're doing the Fantasticks today. Emily just saw it.
I did.
So she's really excited to talk about it today. I'm going to give you the background. So let me take a sip of my wine.
That was me.
All right, so the Fantasticks was, it came out in 1960. It's a musical by Harvey Schmidt. He wrote the music and lyrics by Tom Jones. Harvey Schmidt and Tom Jones both worked together on I Do, I Do and 110 in the Shade, if you're familiar. Tom Jones.
I am.
You are. Tom Jones wrote Harold and Maude.
You're looking at me like I know what that is.
You don't know what that? Okay. Really cute show.
I don't
It's
know
like
what anything
2014 is when that came out.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the one. Maybe I'm misquoting myself, but the song, the Do You Like My Party Dress? So it's loosely based on the play The Romancers. In French, it's Les Romanesques by Edmond Rostand.
Rachmaninoff? What?
Rostand. He's a French poet and dramatist.
Mm-hmm.
Dramatist. He's best known for Cyrano de Bergerac. You know, the one with the guy with the long nose?
You look at me like I know
Are
what
you
you're talking
serious?
about. The guy with the long nose, I'm like thinking like,
Okay, wait.
Accademia dell'Arte.
We're gonna... Well, and actually, this show is Commedia dell'Arte. So,
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Commedia del... What did I say? Academia?
Accademia dell'Arte. But, so Cyrano de Bergerac is one of the more well-known ones of Rostand. So, I don't think I'm saying his name right. But
How do you
there's
spell
a
it?
Steve... R-O-S-T-A-N-D.
Okay.
There's a Steve Martin movie
Okay.
where he has this big long nose, Steve Martin does,
Okay.
and he falls in love with this girl,
Mm.
and she falls in love with this really stupid handsome man, and the stupid handsome man is like, please help her, the stupid handsome man falls in love with this girl, and he's like, please, she wants a smart man, and you're a smart man, can you help me talk to her, because I just can't talk to her. So he goes to her window at night,
Okay.
and Cyrano, or the Steve Martin character, whispers beautiful things through the bushes while he hides, and this beautiful, stupid man says it to her out loud up in the window. So anyway, she finds out.
Joke.
It's that joke, yeah.
Okay.
If you've seen that on Family Guy or whatever
Family
else.
Guy.
Yeah, it's always a Family Guy reference that I can refer back to. Yeah. So anyway, that's Rostand. So the original Off-Broadway production, and I should say the Romancers, which is what Fantasticks is based on, is based off of some Shakespeare. Romeo and Juliet. So, yeah. So, based on.
Mm-hmm.
The original Off-Broadway production ran for 42 years.
Holy.
1960 to 2002. Phantom, back off, bitches. It had 17,162 performances, making it the world's longest running musical ever.
See, I thought it was Les Mis, but...
Ever. No.
Holy hell.
42 years. The Fantasticks is the longest running musical, uninterrupted running musical ever.
Jesus.
Ever. So they did close in 2002. The original production closed, but it made a comeback.
Yeah, it made another reappearance.
It had a reappearance. So it was awarded the Tony Honors for Excellence in Theater in 1991.
Chelsea burped.
Excuse me, I burped again. I gotta take another sip. Oh, Lord. Now my nose is running all over the place. There's TV and a film version and approximately 250 productions each year of this show.
Yeah, that doesn't shock me.
250 productions.
And they're all at stages this year.
They're at stages. Yeah. So, like, the reason why so many places do it is because it's such a small cast.
Yeah.
It's like, we counted, it's what, 8 people, 2 to 3 person orchestra, and a very minimalistic design. And I'm going to tell you in just a second what they spent on the original production, because it's going to blow your fucking mind.
Okay.
So, it was revived off-Broadway. Oh, I'm ready to blow you.
Oh,
Your mind. So it was revived off-Broadway 2006 to 2017. The original investors, as of 2010, the original investors from 1960 have earned 240 times their investment.
Wow.
On this show, because it was so popular.
Yeah.
It's played throughout the U.S. and at least 67 foreign countries. So, it's well known. Like, people kind of know that. I felt really stupid taking these notes because I was like, I still have never seen the Fantasticks. I have no idea what it's about.
I mean, this was my first time ever seeing it. I didn't know what it was about. I had, like, my inklings, but, yeah, I didn't...
Mm-hmm. I was shocked. I was like, wow, this is a very well-known musical. Let's see. Originally... Oh, here's something interesting. Tom Jones teamed up with this guy named John Donald Robb from the University of New Mexico when he was first writing the show.
Okay.
And they adapted it as a Western in 1956 called Joy Comes to Dead Horse. It did not take.
It's like
Tom Jones hated it.
It's like that's isn't Dead Horse where they go in Crazy for You?
Maybe they
literally looks like Crazy for You.
I mean, we have to look up when Crazy for You was written. Yeah. I mean, maybe. But Tom Jones hated it, and he dropped Rob like a hot potato.
Drop Rob.
Drop that Rob. Drop it like it's hot.
Drop
And then joined up with Schmidt, which I just love that his name is Schmidt from, like New Girl. I love the New Girl. Anyway, Schmidt's my favorite. And changed everything to a thrust stage. He basically just rewrote the whole damn thing, changed it to a thrust stage. He pulled from a lot of different musicals. He was inspired by several different musicals at the time. So inspirations for a narrator came from the musical Our Town. Inspirations for the musical? Name.
Our Town?
I'm sorry, not the musical, the play, Our Town. Like, the inspiration for having a narrator came from Our Town.
Yes.
The name, The Fantasticks, comes from a 1900 adaptation of Rostan's play called The Fantasticks.
Oh, okay.
Different, still a little bit different, but used The Fantasticks. Servant of Two Masters, where the concept of actors sitting stage side when not acting, that's where they got that inspiration from that play. I don't know that play at all. And then the use of the sun and the moon and incidental music came from Winter's Tale and Candide. So they were inspired by several different musicals and plays. Tom Jones was a very well-written person.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting because, like, when Louisa does her famous monologue about the bird, you have the harp being the bird.
Yeah.
And whatnot. That's cool.
It was really cool. And I'm going to try not to talk too much because I have like 4 pages of notes because I was like, this is fucking fascinating.
Okay.
The song, Try to Remember.
Yeah.
Try to remember. I'm beautiful.
That's exactly how it goes.
Hire me.
Oh my god. She can at least dance Hairspray.
Oh my god, I can.
Yeah, we have the video to prove it.
So fucking good. I'm going to put it up soon. Try to remember. Did I have my phone on?
Hold on.
I forgot. Okay, so Try to Remember was composed. Oh god, that sounded terrible. Try to remember. That's so much better. Was composed Yes. I'm a singing teacher.
Okay.
It was composed in a day. One day. One day.
Gosh, get through your 4 pages of notes.
After Harvey tried composing other songs, he was like having a really bad day. He was trying to compose something else for a different scene, and that song is what came out.
He's just like,
and he's like, I'm gonna put this somewhere in the damn show. Yeah.
So it's this like vomit song.
Vomit song. Yeah. And it's like one of the most popular songs in the show.
It's the song that I knew that I didn't know was from the show. Yeah. Well, new, quote unquote. It's like everyone knows
the other one, the girl song. Was it Lovely? I'm lovely. No, that's a different show.
I literally, the only one I had heard was Try to Remember.
So, originally, the Off-Broadway production that opened in 1960 premiered at the Sullivan Playhouse. Opened May 3rd, 1960. Here's a really great lineup of a cast. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Is it El Gallo?
El Gallo.
El Gallo was Jerry Orbach.
Okay.
The theater that they did the revival in was later renamed the Jerry Orbach Theater. That's
so cool.
Jerry Orbach. Rita Gardner as Louisa. Kenneth Nelson was Matt. And then, who was the old actor? Tom Jones himself.
Okay.
And when they did the revival, he came back and revived the role again. That fucking man. He's apparently very talented. Apparently.
So I think he's made a career out of it or something.
Right? I mean, like, maybe.
Maybe.
So they combined, with this musical, it's fascinating. I really want to go see it now that I've done the research on it.
Yeah.
They combined classical musical theater with commedia dell'arte and no theatrical traditions. That's Japanese dance drama. N-O-H, no theater tradition. So, there's a lot of really cool elements and inspirations. No. N-O-H.
N-O-H. I'm writing that down. I like it.
Are you ready to hear what, I'm going to hide it from you, what was spent on the set and the costumes?
What was spent on the set and costumes?
The set was $900.
Oh, my lord.
And the costumes were $541.
Oh, my lord.
Right. Actually, I think that was set and props was $900. That's amazing. So some other notable actors who...
I can probably say right now, stages spent more than $900 on that set.
Probably.
The set is...
They got some...
Beautiful, but also...
Is it gorgeous?
It's a lot. It's, like, big.
Other notable actors that have stepped into the Off-Broadway show when it was the original Off-Broadway run and then the reboot were Liza Minnelli, Elliot Gould, Kristen Chenoweth, and Glenn Close, just to name a few.
Liza Minnelli, Kristen Chenoweth, and Glenn Close are all very different actresses.
Yeah.
For a role that there's only technically one female role in the show.
I mean, it didn't say who they played, but I mean, at different points in their life. This ran from 1960.
I'm just imagining Liza Minnelli in her, like,
Younger
cabaret performance.
Liza Minnelli.
Singing, like, follow, 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 follow.
So it was at the London's Apollo in 1961, toured Vietnam. This was cool. They took the show and toured it in Vietnam 1969 through 1970 with a company of military personnel.
That's cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And then there was a revival, of course, August 23rd, 2006, and that was at the Theater Center, later renamed the Jerry Orbach. So if you have ever visited the Jerry Orbach, that was they named it for Jerry Orbach because he originated the role of El Gallo. Blah, 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 blah.
That's so cool. El Gallo, like, in the show, he goes, like, they go, El Gallo? He's like, no, El Gallo.
Oh my god. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that kind of sounds like who they made fun of in Jazzy Chaperone. You know, the Adolfo?
Adolfo.
I am Adolfo.
I actually got major Adolfo vibes.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet you that is who they based Adolfo off of.
I bet it
was
is.
that Jerry Orbach,
like,
El Gallo.
No.
El Gallo.
Gallo.
Oh
And so
my
later
God.
they're like, El Gallo? And then, because
Get-
Louisa calls him El Gallo, and they're like, no.
No.
And it's the dads who... it was stupid. Anyway.
So the revival was directed by Tom Jones. And then he revived his old man role, the old actor role.
So he revived...
He revived it and then
like-
revived it.
Jesus Christ. It's like the whole thing was on an AED
Superstar.
machine.
Mm.
Clear.
There was a West End production at the Duchess Theater June 9th through 26, 2010. It was a very short run. They were supposed to stay open until September, but did not take very well in the West End.
That's so weird.
I know, that's odd. Maybe they just didn't like the combination of Commedia dell'arte with the classical musical
year
theater.
was
With that was 2010.
Maybe it was aged at that point because
might have
there was a
been.
lot of it's the show itself is pretty aged and honestly it's a little racist. They took out they rewrote a lot of
The rapes.
Yeah.
That's the next thing. There was a controversy.
Yeah.
You are going in the direction I was going.
Look at that. Sigoo.
Let's go. So there was a controversy over the word rape, which originally that word means abduction.
Yes.
Like the rape of Lucretia, the abduction or kidnapping. Many productions changed the word, and now the song, it depends on what you pay. They talk about Venetian rape, Gothic rape, drunken rape. Tom Jones actually rewrote it in 1990. So it's now the rape ballet is called abduction. And
the abduction ballet.
And in the MTI score, there's the option to either say rape or say abduction. Venetian abduction, Gothic abduction, drunken.
Okay, so they do give you an option.
Yeah, you can sing
rape,
the words, or you can change it to the option.
I gotta say, in the world of like rape, I did marketing for in the world of rape. Wow, that was a Sigoo.
Can we just pause for a second?
So I was doing marketing for a show that's based off of Alexander Pope's The Rape of the Lock.
Uh-huh.
Meaning like
the abduction.
The abduction of literally a lock of hair.
Yeah.
And the show was called Unlocked. Unlocked, like...
Oh, that
my
show.
show.
Yeah.
Sam Carner and Derek Greger wrote it. And it was produced here at Queensberry. And so I was doing marketing. And I was like, technically it was supposed to be preteen, family friendly. And I remember giving it to people, and on the poster, I think it said, like, based off of The Rape of the Lock, and I would go in and explain what that meant to the people that I was actually, like, marketing to, because they would want to hang the poster, then they would see the word rape and be like, no, and I'm like, no, it's like, it means abduction, it's the name of the poem.
That's honestly, that's the first time when I was doing research for this, first time I'd ever heard that word means
something else.
Yeah. I had no idea. It makes sense that it's been used in that sense, like, nowadays.
That it's... Well, so you're abducting...
Your body. Somebody's body. You're abducting their body and kidnapping their body. So, I mean, it makes sense, that word, but, people got super, super, super offended when the word rape became,
a
normalized word for doing dirty things to a lady. Yeah. So anyway, that was the first time I'd ever heard that, and I'd heard of the rape of Lucretia is what I want to say. I've heard of the rape of Lucretia because it's an opera, and every time I heard it, I would cringe a little and go, "Oh God, how are they going to stage that? I don't want to see that on stage." Yeah,
Like
I had no idea.
Too.
I had no idea. I was like,
the abduction.
Because when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. Stupid Chelsea. Duh. And with that, I have to pee.
Same. We'll be right back. Enjoy these ads. Ding, ding, ding. Chelsea hit my tooth.
I didn't hit your tooth.
No, I hit my tooth. Oh. The eye was kind of inside that whininess. Like literally whining with the wine. Get it? The wine bottle hit my tooth. No, I wasn't drinking out of the bottle. I was looking at. Hit my tooth.
This is Emily, ladies and gentlemen.
I was not drinking out of the bottle. Okay. Hey, Chelsea.
Hey, Emily.
I guess we should talk about the Fantasticks.
That would be fantastic.
I must say that you did a fantastic job.
With my notes?
Yes.
I had so many things from Wikipedia.
So many
Wikipedia things.
So many Wikipedias.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
I am actually going to go also to Wikipedia, as well as my brain, and do my darndest to explain.
So excited.
I'm on Instagram instead of Spotify, and I'm really struggling tonight, y'all. It's because I went and danced. I haven't done that. I was like, I think I looked at Rags, and I go, I don't think I've worked out since last year.
In the forever.
Since the last year. So you get my feet on the bed. Chelsea and I are in bed again together. Which was funny until she made that noise.
Hey, Emily.
Okay, dope.
What are you doing, Emily?
Oh my God, get out of here. I'm going to start this off
by... You know what I'm doing?
What are you doing?
Checking the weather map.
Oh my God. I'm going to start this off by playing the overture of the Fantasticks. I will be playing from Spotify the new Off-Broadway recording. Or it's the 2006 recording. And I'll put the link in show notes.
Love it. Ooh. Classy.
So I said to Chelsea, I was like, I love this overture because it's a perfect duet between the right and left hand of the piano and the harp. It's just a when the piano's by itself, it has a beautiful duet between the two hands, and then that's the right hand with the harp.
It's beautiful.
It's lovely. I think it's lovely, and that's a great way to start off a show. So during this overture, you actually have all the actors come onto stage. So the mute and Louisa and Matt. Actually, I always knew the girl's name was Louisa, and like everyone is like, Balami, and the mute, and El Gallo, and then you have Matt.
And then there's Matt.
He's kind of nerdy. He's kind of like the Seymour type actor. who that was so funny. It was like, and Matt. So the characters, which you touched on, they all have two names, more or less. So you have El Gallo, which is the narrator, but also the bandit. Then you have Matt, the boy.
The boy.
Louisa, the girl. Huckleby, the boy's father. Bellamy, the girl's father. Henry, the old actor. Mortimer, the man who dies. And the mute,
Man.
who acts like the wall.
What a freaking, like, spoiler alert.
They all have, but that's how they're put in.
I know.
They're literally put in, like, Stages has them listed actually as their name. Their description is the character, and then they have the actual name in parentheses.
Huh.
Anyways, so, just so cool. So fun. But, yeah, the characters are all coming on as players, and they're all warming up, and, El Gallo comes on and starts to talk about love, and he kind of sets the scene with the song Try to Remember.
Try to remember.
You listen to Chelsea.
What? I was in the right key, too. Fuck me.
We already talked about rape and how we can't easily.
I wasn't.
Try to remember when life was so tender that no one wept except the willow.
That's not where I thought that rhyme scheme was going.
So
No one wept
that
except
Weeping Willow.
your sweat.
Just because you're sweaty doesn't mean that's what they're going to sing about.
I want it to be.
The Weeping Willow that comes up in that song is actually used by Matt later. It's it has kind of the motif of it all, that they talk about the Weeping Willow and the birds that are in the Weeping Willow. And so El Gallo is more or less introducing the characters at this point and singing the song. He's introducing everybody. He's narrating the play, and he introduces Matt and Louisa, who live next door. They fall in love, but their fathers are feuding. And they're told that they can't talk to each other. And what's separating them?
I'm so sorry.
I'm talking about something very romantic.
Drink.
That was so bad, Chelsea. It's gonna come out your nose.
I'm really sorry, y'all. I've been particularly gassy this week. I don't know what it is. I almost burped in a little kid's face when I was playing Elsa. I didn't mean to. I turned away like I was being dramatic. Like, oh, don't look at me.
Just don't look at me. Doesn't she
cold
get
never
drunk in one of us? The cold never...
Luckily, I sing along, like, with a voice track.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, y'all. I will be burping
so
a lot on this
funny.
episode.
That's ridiculous.
You're ridiculous.
I love it. Okay, so they're being introduced, and Louisa's actually... She's considered herself a princess because she just turned 16 and she's no longer ugly.
Wow.
And so she's
That's when I stopped being ugly, too.
It was when you turned 16?
When I turned 16.
And so she has this whole monologue about the bird. And it's a very famous monologue. Don't do Louisa's monologue for auditions, please. Everyone does Louisa's monologue. Actually, no one does it because everyone did it.
Because everyone does it.
It's very famous. She's talking about the birds and how she... Oh my gosh, Chelsea keeps burping. How she touches her eyelids because that's the first thing she touches in the morning because they're always different.
Weird.
So she's sitting there and she's like, one day I hope to be a woman who's worthy to have her eyelids kissed.
Oh, yeah. To be kissed upon the eyes.
Perfect. And so
I always thought that was a weird line in the song.
So, but she's outside in the garden and she's discovering her new body, very spring awakening-esque. She's in a white dress. So, Louisa and Matt. Louisa is discovering herself. She has her monologue about the birds. And in the middle of her monologue, she sings this song called Much More.
much more.
And she's hugging herself, and she's like, every time I wake up, I'm different. And there must be something more for something. I'm so noble and so wonderful. There must be something more. Right?
Sex.
Is that what you're singing about?
I think it might be.
There might be sex? I did not get that.
Girl.
So she sings much more. And then Matt, who is on the other side of the wall. Now, usually the wall is the mute.
Yeah.
At stages, the mute comes out and takes a string, or this rope, that they kind of established in the first set. She comes out and she does her little ropey thing. And this rope, the same kind of rope, it is established that is the wall. It's a little diagonal. And Matt's on the other side of the wall. And he delivers a speech for his love for Louisa, and he's up on, like, the tree trying to look over. And he's, like, calling over the wall, and he sings a song called Metaphor. I'm trying to get to it.
How subtle.
Oh, look, he has a monologue, too. So we have Louisa has a monologue and a song. And then Matt has a monologue and a song. Matt goes, she makes me young again. And he's, like, 26, and all the senior citizens are like, young again.
That makes me so mad.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Matt's kind of a dork anyways.
I don't know what to call her. She's too vibrant for a name. What shall I call her? Juliet.
Yes, dear.
Helena.
Yes, dear.
And Cassandra and Cleopatra and Beatrice and all.
So he's reciting poetry to her from the other side of the wall, and keep in mind that she feels that she is a princess.
How
so
fucking sweet.
How nice that Romeo is on the other side of the wall. And so they climb to the top of the wall and they speak secretly. And Louisa had like a romantic vision of Matt saving her from a kidnapping because she's magical and a princess, of course.
Yeah,
no, she's just a crazy 16-year-old. And she does say, like, she more or less is like, yeah, like, don't let me be normal.
I don't want to be normal because there's much more.
And her father is so funny about it. But she is kind of established as this, like, crazy 16-year-old.
Gotcha.
Crazy in, I guess, a mansplaining way. So they're keeping secret. And meanwhile, Matt's father, Mr. Huckleby, makes his appearance, and he's listening to all this happening, and he's like, "Ooh, I'm so mad. He's talking to the neighbor girl, blah 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 blah." And so he's working on his garden, and his philosophy of his garden is don't overwater. And then he tells Matt, "Go inside. You shouldn't be outside because the neighbors and they're terrible. The feuding families." Meanwhile, Lisa's father, Mr. Bellamy, is on the other side of the wall, and he has a contrasting philosophy of life and gardening. He thinks you should overwater, plenty of water, all the water. Water your daughter with love. He actually sings this. He has this little monologue where he's like, "I love cabbage." Because when you plant cabbage, you know you're going to get cabbage. If you plant a radish, you know you're going to get radish. But when you have a daughter, you don't know what you're going to get.
That's why I've not had children yet.
Yeah, so I thought it was hilarious. He's like, literally was like, you have a daughter, and then you get crazy Louisa. But he's out watering his cabbage. And has a little fight with Louisa, and then he orders her inside. And once both Matt and Louisa are inside, Huckleby and Bellamy are on either side of the wall, and they're like, I hate you more, blah, 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 blah,
They
blah.
really do hate each other?
But then they come together, and they're like, ha, 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 we don't hate each other, we're best of friends!
That's what I thought I heard.
So they're the best of friends.
When you're the best of friends.
Yeah.
Having so much fun.
I don't know what you're doing.
Are you serious?
I don't know what you're doing.
God damn it, you're so fucking young.
I'm young.
Fox and the Hound. Fox and...
Oh, I did have seen that.
You did have seen that?
God damn it. So, they turn out, Bellamy and Huckleby are the best of friends, and they're saying that the reason they have created this feud was so that their children would fall in love. Because they say if you want to manipulate your children, I'm going to tell you.
Oh.
If you say you want to to manipulate your children, all you need to say is no. So if your child is like stuffing their mouth with marshmallows, and you say, no, don't do that, they'll continue doing it. But if you say, no, keep doing that, then they'll stop. Exactly.
Oh.
So they sing the song called Never Say No.
Children, lovers, fantasticks, geese. How clever we are. How crafty to know to manipulate children. You merely say no.
So they call their children the Fantasticks. Thus the name.
Really?
The Fantasticks, yeah.
Okay.
Because their children are so, quote unquote, fantastic. So they had this little song about manipulating your children. And then Huckleberry, so Matt's father, the boy's father, he's like, well, we have to do the final thing. How are we going to get them to, how are we going to end the wall and quote unquote end the fake feud to bring them together? Because if we tell them the truth, then they're not going to want to be with each other.
Right.
So Huckleberry is like, you know what you have to do to end this feud? We have to have Louisa kidnapped by a professional abductor so that Matt can rescue her and appear heroic.
Oh my god.
So that's where the use of the word rape comes in, quote unquote rape. Rape meaning abduction. But Bellamy was very hesitant to have Louisa kidnapped, but he's worried it's going to cost money too, and it will. And so they hired this professional named El Gallo, not Gallo, but Gallo.
El Gallo?
Gallo.
Gallo.
Adolfo.
I am Adolfo. Okay, I got it.
Got it. El Gallo. So El Gallo comes in and he's like, I am the best. I can do anything. Blah, 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 blah. And they're wondering how much is it going to cost. He goes, well, it depends on what you pay. And so he's talking about his different packages of a fake abduction and how he's going to have, he'll have people who are really good at abducting, but depending on how hard the fight is, how hard it is to kidnap her, that's going to depend, like that's how much it's going to cost. It's going to be on the difficulty. So he sings this little tango with the dads called It Depends on What You Pay.
This is the rape song.
This is the... No?
Well, they talk about, like, Venetian rape, Gothic rape.
Yes.
The cost, senor, depends on the quality of the rape.
Jesus.
No, forgive me. The attempted rape, the abduction, the seizure, the raid, the chase. In your case, I think I would recommend a first class.
You mean we get a choice?
Yes, of course. And with regular union rates, it depends on what you pay.
Seriously.
So I keep playing only really the beginning of the song because they introduce each song with this little monologue and then they do the song, which is repeating the monologue. So as you can see, he's saying, I recommend this first class abduction. Package. And he's saying, like, this is what's going to happen because they're your beloved children and you need to make this happen and it's going to be difficult. We want to make sure he looks the best. And so they end up sparing no expense, and they go with the first class abduction.
Okay then.
Enter Henry and Mortimer.
Okay.
So the dads are like, yes, we'll pay this, blah, 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 it's gonna be amazing. And they actually, at stages, they have their gardens, which are like little carpet squares at their gardens, and they put them up on it, and they're like, ooh, it's our skirt, and they're doing their little flamenco with their gardens. It's cute.
That's cute.
And at stages, what they had was a music box. That's what I was saying, is they had this music box in the middle of the stage that opened, the lid would open, and you had the mirror. And Louisa did everything. The wall and the garden was within this music box.
That's cute.
And then it started to close. And as it closed, it revealed Henry and Mortimer, and Henry is up on this ladder, and the music's like, and it's like this build up for these amazing actors to show the old actor and his sidekick Mortimer.
Love it.
It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. And Henry is pretty much saying like, oh, I can recite King Lear, I can recite Richard III, Richard IV, or whatever.
Kind of sounds like Mrs. Mears.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Only more ridiculous.
Okay.
What was the Shakespeare plays that were written out of order? Was that Henry?
I don't know. I don't know that much about Shakespeare, to be honest.
He's like, I can do Henry V, Henry VI, and then go back and do Henry III. It's just whatever one was out of order. And he starts to do a very famous monologue where he's like, my countrymen. And he's trying to do it.
Lend me your ears?
Lend me your ears,
okay.
yeah. Lend me your ears, my dear, my countrymen. And it was just funny because he couldn't remember any of the words, and so they kind of got fed to him, and Mortimer's acting them out, and he'd be like, hand! And so they're more or less auditioning for El Gallo to be the abductors for Louisa. And it's just very physically funny. Mortimer has a scene where he's the actor who dies. Mm-hmm. And so they're like, oh yes, Mortimer, he's the actor who dies. His specialty is in death scenes. And so you see Mortimer, it's all very physical, and he shoots an arrow and it goes off and you see it go off into the audience, mind. And then he goes across and suddenly the arrow turns around and it comes back. And it comes to him, but he steps out of the way, and it turns again, and then it kills him, and then he has this elaborate death. It takes like a full minute. So 60 seconds of silence because somebody is pretending to die.
Oh my god.
That's Mortimer's role. It was beautiful. It was very well done. It was being played, Mortimer is played by Ronnie Blaine right now at Stages.
Ronnie.
Well, he's a fantastic actor. And Henry is played by Mr. Paul Hope. We'll talk about him later. So El Gallo, he's saying, like, we're going to do a staged kidnapping, and eventually hires Henry and Mortimer. Then skip to Matt and Louisa. They return and they have a little physical intimacy.
Oh, the hair sucks. Did they do it?
You know, it's kind of like written in whether or not they really did it.
Oh, it's sweet.
Hear how the wind begins to whisper. See how the leaves go streaming by. Smell how the
Wait, she's 16.
rain is falling.
Oh, fuck.
Out where the fields
Technically.
are warm and dry.
Chelsea's casting herself right now.
No,
Which actually, I saw
I'm
this
not.
and I
No,
thought to
no.
myself, Chelsea would be an excellent Louisa.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Louisa and Matt, they're in the forest, and they're like, ooh, we're so cute and wonderful, and it's raining, and I love you, and you love me, and everything's perfect, and if only our fathers weren't so against each other in this feud. And they start singing about the rain and the moon is, it's moonlit, and suddenly El Gallo and the actors, they bust in, and they carry out this moonlit abduction scene. And that's more or less the ballet we were talking about. So they come out, and it's so ridiculous because this actor, he needs, like, the old actor needs help, like, getting up on the platforms, quote unquote, and he's running around, and they have little scarves to be blood, and it's just it's very, very ridiculous in the funniest way. But so they're trying to abduct Louisa, and Matt comes in and he defeats them. He defeats all three of them: El Gallo, Henry, and Mortimer. And Mortimer gets his famous death scene during this whole section. And so Louisa's like, "Oh, my hero! Oh my gosh, you saved me!" And at this point, the feud has ended. And the wall between the houses are torn down, and everyone is happy, and there's this little picturesque moment where they all come together, and that is the song Happy Ending.
Ending.
Which is, what?
Like butt stuff. Never mind. Oh my.
My mystery of
So this song is kind of the accumulation of all the other songs throughout Act 1 coming together. Louisa has this motif of doing the
What a
she has
stupid
that.
bitch.
She's the one who goes like follow, 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 follow,
Yeah.
follow, follow, follow. In the opening number. So at the end of this song, or the end of this piece, like El Gallo is like, and that is it. They're in love, and they make this beautiful picture. And they literally make this picture. They're like, let's see how long they can hold it. Ha 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 ha. And then there is and they're like joyful poses, and he and the mute leave, and then there's blackout, and then we have intermission.
Yay.
Bing, bing, bing.
So wild.
Oh my gosh.
How did you?
Chelsea and I, we took this dance class, and Rex Knightley was going to do Rock of Ages. And so he was singing Heart in My Heart. And he was out on his Instagram. And so we responded.
God damn it.
And Chelsea, I'm like waiting for her to do the echo. So I'm like,
I don't know
got a heart in my heart. You're supposed to go, heart in your heart.
Well, now I know. I don't
And I
know the
go,
song.
you'll swallow your tears, swallow my tears.
Swallow!
And just goes.
You'll see it on our
I
Instagram.
know, I need to make sure Rex is okay with me posting his picture.
I'm sure he's fine. It looks a very provocative photo that we have of Rex. We love
His
you,
mouth
Rex.
is just open. Love you, Rex. Drink. Okay. I guess maybe we should talk about Act 2.
Let's do it.
So Act 2 opens on the picture that we had left the cast with in Act 1. So right before intermission, the cast had got into this picturesque romantic moment. And so we open Act 2.
Act 2.
And they are in the same picture, but they're getting a little tired. Their poses are getting a little exhausting. And you see, like, Louisa, she was, like, kicking her foot, like, I don't hold my foot up anymore. And, like, the dad's arms are kind of falling down, so, like, this hurts. And so, what was very picturesque got tired. See the symbolism that's happening here. Yeah.
Look at that.
So El Gallo kind of sees this all happening, and he was like, in the moonlight, this was all beautiful and wonderful in the moonlight. But come the sun, all of everything is being exposed.
Everything goes to shit.
And so the set, this really cheap set, they have the moon, and they switch it out for the
For the the what now?
Shut up. So the set, the really cheap set, they switch out the moon for the sun.
This is a great wine.
And they sing, their moon was cardboard. Or they speak it. I'm pretty sure this is El Gallo's.
There's 80 views. How?
So this is the cast getting tired. So this is the opening of Act 2.
Their moon was cardboard, fragile. It was very apt to fray. And what was last night scenic may seem cynic by today.
Oh.
So there's El Gallo being like, ooh, the sun. It's showing everything. And so the fathers and everyone just starts complaining. They're whining, if you will.
Oh my
gosh, look,
that's
like,
what we
they
do.
like knew what we were going to be doing.
Oh.
So they're whining.
Oh.
Yes, they're whining about everything. And they start noticing the flaws in each other. The fathers in each other, the children in each other. They start complaining about one another. And they sing, "This plum is too ripe."
Oh my.
Yes.
This plum is too ripe.
Sorry. Please don't watch me while I'm eating.
Sorry.
Paint it up right, so take it away and decorate it. So take it away. That sun is too bright.
I say that it really is a pity.
It used to be so pretty.
Take away the golden moonbeam.
I've heard this song.
Away the tinsel
So
that.
they're
What did I
saying
sing?
pretty much everything is too ripe it's too exposed. And so like they're physically eating plums at stages. And there's a saying that later comes, they say, "Oh, try not to get too ripe because you will fall."
Oh.
Like if you have a too ripe apple, it gets rotten and it will fall. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's this motif. Again, we come back to the trees and the birds and the fruit. Matt's a little fruity if you ask me, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh.
They're saying this plum is too ripe. And so in an effort to get over everybody complaining about each other, Louisa and Matt are like, "Oh, Matt's so romantic because he beat all of these people and he's just so heroic." And Matt's like, "Yeah, I'm the fucking best." And the fathers are very frustrated about Matt and his big old head at this point. And because Matt starts mocking them like, "Oh, you're not as brave as me. I'm so brave. I'm the best." And so, and then in the fit, like Hucklebee's so annoyed with his foolish son. His little son, he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." Hucklebee's like, "You know what? Fuck you. You know what? The feud was fake. We were fake the whole time, and you fell for it." And so he reveals that Huckleberry and Bellamy were never actually fighting. And going back to what the father said earlier, if you want to manipulate your kids, you just tell them no. Well, now they're saying more or less yes to them, so the kids start to rebel.
Oh, fun.
Oh, fun! That perfect little love story is like, no more.
No.
So Matt and Louisa are trying to, again, semi-defy their fathers, but also the fathers are getting mad at each other. And so they're like, "You know what, we're going to build a wall!" So they go back and build another wall because they're fighting now. They're also fighting about their philosophies, saying, Huckleberry's turning around and saying, "Oh, you're watering your cabbages too much." And Bellamy is saying, no, you're not watering
You're not watering enough.
which is going back to their philosophies of too much water, or plenty of water, or don't overwater.
Yeah.
So Matt is left alone. He's very desperate to try and regain his honor as a man, but also Louisa's love, where Louisa's like, "I'm gonna have an affair!"
Fuck you, bitch.
I know, she's like, "I'm 16 and I'm a princess and you're not really a hero, so I'm gonna have an affair. I'll make you not love me." So Matt is freaking out. Matt sees El Gallo come in, and Louisa's still there, and they had been fighting, and El Gallo, he's like, "Yeah, you are a fool," but Matt's trying to regain his honor and Louisa's love, so he actually challenges El Gallo to a duel, saying, "No, you didn't have to fake it. I could actually beat you."
Oh.
So El Gallo's like, "Okay, whatever." And so he ends up, El Gallo, very quick sword fight, disarms Matt, and Matt's ends up not picking back up the sword. He's like, "You're right. I can't fight you." And El Gallo leaves, but in the meantime, Louisa's being swept away in El Gallo's ability and manliness. Manly. And so, she actually tells Matt, she's like, you were right not to fight him.
Mm-hmm.
In which, of course, he's like, "How dare you? I'm honorable." And he ends up calling Louisa a child. But
Bitch.
remember how proud she is about her changing body.
Yeah,
And she's 16. She's practically
a woman.
ancient. She's a woman. And so this really pisses her off. And so she storms off. But Matt he's eager to leave this town that they're in. And so El Gallo starts telling him, "You know what, you should go on an adventure." Always on an adventure. So he sings to Matt, "I Can See It." What?
See, he sees it, and the world seems very grand. Beyond that road lies a shining world. Beyond that road lies despair.
So El Gallo is convincing Matt that he's going to see the world. And so Matt leaves. He runs into Henry and Mortimer, who are at this point they're at this point pirates.
Oh.
And so they are like, come scallywag with us and we'll go and do fun things. So he leaves and he leaves Louisa. Act 2 was very much a whirlwind because Act 1, you're like, okay, they're going to end up falling in love because fucking duh. And there's going to be this, they pretty much talked about everything they were going to do.
Yeah.
So Act 2, you're not prepared for because suddenly everything falls to shit, but you don't know how it's falling to shit. Because El Gallo's like, this is everything, here's the plan within the first 20 minutes. And so you know Act 1 in the first 20 minutes. But Act 2, you don't know. Everything, they don't lay it out. And so Matt leaves, and he's actually gone for a couple of months. And the fathers have rebuilt the wall. So the mute comes back in and more or less is making the wall or is the wall. And the fathers kind of meet and they're like, oh yeah, our children. Matt hasn't returned and Louisa is more or less a statue because all she does is sit around and dream. So she's kind of lost without Matt, but she's more or less lost without love is kind of her thing. Because keep in mind, she's like, I'm gonna have an affair.
Oh, good for you, bitch.
So, oh my god, shut up. So the fathers they're talking to each other like, plant a radish. It goes back into that, if I plant a radish, I'll get a radish. If I plant my seed into a woman, the child that I have is unpredictable. That's how that goes, right?
How's your garden? Growing. Mine too.
You hear the motif of the music in the background.
Yeah.
Plant a radish, get a radish, never any doubt.
Oh.
That's why I love vegetables, you know what you're about.
Eh.
Plant a turnip, get a turnip, maybe you'll get two. That's why I love vegetables, you know that they'll come through. They're
Well-
dependable.
This is kind of the fathers kind of starting to see eye to eye again song, more or less saying no matter how you garden, you're going to have some sort of
Issues.
you're going to have like something fruitful. Something's going to come out of your
Yeah,
gardening. So there's
it's
not
gonna
necessarily a
grow.
wrong way to garden. Meanwhile, Louisa sees El Gallo is watching her, and she's, as I said, she's intrigued by the handsomeness of El Gallo. Ooh. So she's very intrigued by El Gallo, because he's the handsome bandit. And so she's asked him, like, take me away, let me see the world. El Gallo, when she was having when Matt and Louisa and El Gallo were in the scene together during the fight, Louisa goes to slap El Gallo and he grabs her hand and kisses her wrist. And so she has a little ribbon around her wrist. Come later when she comes back and she comes up to him and goes, this is where you bruised me. Meaning like, this is where you kissed me. It's like a old time saying, like, you kissed me, you left a bruise.
Oh.
It's not a hickey.
Left your mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No hickeys here, even though it's bruise.
Oh
Oh my god. And so, I love how I made the joke. You didn't catch it, so I had to make it again.
Yeah, no, because I had wine. That was
Okay.
that
Thank you.
half
It was a
bottle
funny
of
joke.
it.
It was a funny joke.
Ha ha ha.
Anyway, so she has her little red ribbon. It's like, this
Oh.
is where you bruised me.
Mm.
So, El Gallo is trying to show her the world, and what she's seeing is she's wearing a whole bunch of masks, is what he brings out all these masks that she puts on.
That's the Commedia dell'arte.
More or less. And so, well,
I mean, a lot of it is. Just,
No.
Just in.
no, let me talk.
Okay.
So he starts singing a song to her called Round and Round. And he's like, you can see the world, but he starts to show her the world through these masks. And through these masks, she's seeing Matt is being abused and beaten by Henry and Mortimer. And she's like, oh no, he needs help. But through the mask, El Gallo is like, no, he deserves it. She's like, yeah, he deserves it. And she goes through in stages, she went through 3 separate masks.
Mm.
And
And round with the magic spell, round and down, deep in the bell. Life is a colorful carousel, reckless and terribly bright. This'll take, and there will be
So El Gallo is pretty much saying, like, this is the world, and she's saying, I'm ready to go, let me go, I want to go. And so El Gallo says to Luisa, you know, pack up your things, we're going to go on a journey. But before you go, give me your most treasured item. This will tell me that you're going to come back. Well, in Luisa's initial monologue at the very beginning of the show, she talks about how she found her mother's necklace. Mm-hmm. And when it touched her skin, she felt more herself and beautiful and whatnot. Aww. And it more or less was her adulthood. And so she's wearing this necklace, and El Gallo's like, you must give me your necklace. This is the pledge that you will return. So she gives El Gallo her necklace. And she goes inside, and Matt actually comes back, and Matt is all beaten up from this world that he just suffered, that Luisa saw through the masks.
Yeah.
And so he comes back, and they
up.
sing I Can See It, and it's a reprise.
Beyond that road lies despair. Beyond that road lies a world.
I guess maybe they didn't sing it at stages, but it's the reprise of I Can See It. So I Can See It is what got Matt to leave, and now he's back. So he saw the world, and he's upset about it.
Right.
Because he's gotten beat up, and so he's lived a little. So Matt comes back in, he sings the I See It reprise, because he's now a worldly man, and Luisa's left now, but El Gallo is trying to leave, but Matt, who's injured, he actually tries to make it so El Gallo doesn't leave, so that he doesn't hurt Luisa. He's like, no, she is expecting you, and as much as it hurts me, she's expecting you, and you should stay, but El Gallo says, no, I must leave. And so he leaves, and Luisa comes back to find that El Gallo is gone with her necklace. So she starts crying. Aww. And as I said, this is Matt's kind of attempt to now comfort her and be the love that they had at the beginning of the show. Where El Gallo turns back into the narrator at this point, and he explains poetically that he had to hurt Matt and Luisa, and also himself in the process, to make the story complete. Okay. And so Matt's comforting Luisa, and he tells her about how he got beaten and whatnot. And the two realize that everything that they'd ever wanted was actually each other. Which goes back into They Were You and the metaphor reprise. I'm trying to remember if stages what they do. So they sing the duet, They Were You. And they start to understand how the beginning was where they wanted to be, but they had gotten there incorrectly. And the fathers come back, and they are back to being friends, and they tear down the wall again. But El Gallo comes back in to remind them that the wall will always be there in some way, which is try to remember reprise. And so all of the characters have gone through this weird arc to end back
where they were.
Exactly where they were.
Huh.
And with that is the Fantasticks.
Yay!
Did your brain just blow up at all?
Fantastically.
Fantastically. That was good. Gosh, I started confusing myself because the story...
I should have started singing Try to Remember each time you got lost.
I got lost for a second.
Try to remember.
Shut up. I hate you. I know there's a couple of times I was like,
literally
hold on, Chelsea. I need to reacquaint myself really quick, even though I saw it last night. You know, it's one of those shows that kind of, there's so much poetry in it. It's in symbolism. It's hard to keep track. I'm very detail-oriented when it comes to those kinds of things.
This is a tricky one. This was a real tricky one.
Yeah.
Like I said, they drew inspiration from all these outside things, sources and metaphors, and the tree and the moon and the sun and the
the sun, it shows them. Oh, what I meant to say at stages is really beautiful because Act 2, they have the music box open, but as soon as everyone starts fighting, they close it, and they reveal a broken mirror, and so the whole stage becomes another music box. Oh. And that mirror is actually the scrim that has Matt getting, beaten up behind it. So.
Oh my god.
So, that's the Fantasticks. If you want to go see it stages, you can see it until March 15th at the Gordy.
Stages.
Lovely.
StagesHouston.com for tickets.
Mm-hmm.
They got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday shows. They got some
they have
matinees
Saturday
on
mat
Saturday and
and
Sunday.
Sunday matinees.
You can
get them at
literally go all the time.
stageshouston.com. So Paul, thank you Paul for the ticket. I went and saw it on his, he gave me one of his comps, and he actually has a concert coming off called The Paul Hope Cabaret Presents That Old Black Magic, Harold Arland in the 40s.
That sounds awesome.
It's going to be fun. It's at Ovations Nightclub. It's going to open on Monday, February 17th. And it will be February 17th, February 24th, and March 2nd at 7:30 at Ovations Nightclub. That is in Rice Village. If you like tickets, you can go visit it on Facebook at Paul Hope Cabaret, or go to paulhopecabaret.ticketleap.com. And it will pop up for you. You can actually use discount code DOLLS to save $5 on your ticket.
I'm gonna do that. I want to see it. And I want to give a shout out to our Patreon members. Julia. Hi, Mom. Julia. Andy. And
Cocksucker!
wow.
He's going to love that.
And Noah.
Noah.
Hey, Noah.
Noah.
Wine tonight was donated by...
Rigel.
Thank you, Rigel, for the wine.
Thanks,
It was
Rigel.
really good. If you would like to donate wine to us, you are
You
very
don't donate wine.
I'm not. Look, Rigel is not a Patreon member, but he donated
he did.
wine.
Okay.
If you want to bring me a bottle of wine, I will save it and I will drink it on the show,
Okay.
and I will shout out to you.
But your Patreon money does
your
not go
Patreon
towards
money
wine.
goes towards other things, to be clear. So if you would like to join Patreon,
You can find us on patreon.com/winesandolls. Tiers start at $2. As we said, in the future, we want to have better audio equipment where you can't hear the AC turn on or the garage door while we're talking about our Patreon. We are just trying to get our website going, so the website will actually be up hopefully next
Pretty
week.
soon.
Yeah.
yeah.
And if you would like to check us out on social medias, you can reach us at Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Wines and Dolls. You can even find us on TikTok at Wines and Dolls.
The TikTok.
The TikTok. And whatever you're listening on, please go ahead and press that subscribe button and give us a 5-star review. If you feel like it was 4 or less star experience, please write your comments on Patreon and give us $20. James is doing the most awkward hugging situation in the entire world. Oh my gosh. You look very rugged tonight.
He's been building for like 4 hours. He went straight from work to building a set.
And with that,
I'm Chelsea.
and I'm Emily.
And this is Wines and Dolls. Bye.